All right, 6.6, modeling sinusoidal functions. What we're going to do is we're going to take data from the real world and we're going to start modeling sine waves or cosine waves. Both are sinusoidal. The calculator in most technology usually goes back to sine. It'll do a sine progression. So what I have for you is some data. Number of daylight hours for each month. Now this is, we picked a day. I believe it was the middle of the month. So month 1 would be January. Middle of January, we picked a day, figured out the number of daylight hours. February would be 11.3 hours. March, 11.98 hours, and so forth, as you see here. All the way through December. Now, if we plotted these year after year after year, we're only doing 1 year here, you would see a pattern. And that pattern should be a wave. Because you have your highest number of hours during a day and the lowest number of daylight hours. Okay? Looks like we're peaking somewhere, looks like June. And our low, very close, December or January. In this case, December is a little bit less. And once you have this data copied down, what I like to do is I like to put it into the calculator. Okay, so we're going to get our calculators out. In the calculator, we're going to go to Stat. We're going to go to Edit. Now I have the data already typed in. List 1, we're going to put the months, 1 through 12. List 2, we're going to put the number of daylight hours that corresponds to each month. So go ahead and type those in. Anybody still typing them in? Okay. All right, so we're going to do a regression. We're going to go to Stat. We're going to go to the right one, to Calculate. And you can push up once, go to the very bottom of the list. The very last regression. Now, when we've done regressions before, we did linear, quadratic, cubic, quartic. Sine regression is the very last one. That's what we're going to pick. We're going to do a sine regression. So hit Enter. You should specify the list. Second number 1 is list 1, comma, second number 2 is list 2, and you get an equation. This equation matches what we would get like we just did last night's homework. So let's write this equation down. Y equals 1.598 sine of 0.512 theta or x, totally up to you. They're using x. Minus 1.603 plus 12.116. That's our equation. That's a model that tells us the number of daylight hours. We can predict now in the future what that would be. If you want to graph that, you'd hit second y equals. We go to stat plot, turn the first one on, list 1, list 2. Before you graph that, you should go to y equals and clear out anything that's in your y equals. You might have equations in there from things you've done previously that you don't want in there. And then we're going to hit zoom, number 9, zoom stat. And there's our data. To put our equation on that graph, we just go to y equals and type it in, or we can recall it. You go to vars. Number 5, statistics. To the right 2, the regression equation. It'll recall the entire equation, hit graph, and it'll put the equation on your data. And then you can answer questions about it. Okay? All right, if you're having difficulties with the graph, you need to be in radian mode when you're doing this. Radian mode. So change your mode to radians if you're getting a weird graph, and you should get a nice, smooth graph.
How do you get
Okay?